Hey everybody, Dark here. Just gonna be playing some Skyrim. I just got the Dragonborn and Dawnguard expansions the other night and figured that I would make a gameplay walkthrough on it once I figure out what's going on and where I'm going and everything. And it just started. I was going back to Whiterun to clear out some of my inventory and these cultists showed up, so let's see what they have to say and everything.
Your lies fall on deaf ears, deceiver. The true Dragonborn comes. You are but his shadow. When
I'm
Lord
not a shadow.
Mirak appears, all shall bear witness. None shall stand to oppose him. Time to die.
Oh dear. This isn't gonna end well. I'm sorry if this is gonna be kind of slow because I am a really hide and seek kind of player. I know my blade didn't have the charge this time, so I gotta do something.
You won't win.
Shields are gonna help you when I'm fighting melee. Interesting. It's a neat looking mask. That's for sure. Reading the cultist orders, This one. Yay, quest notification in the way. Board the vessel Northern Maiden docked at Raven Rock. Take it to Windhelm and begin your search. Kill the false Dragonborn known as in the air before it reaches Solstheim. Return with word of your success, and Mirak shall be most pleased. Well, I think I'm gonna stop the video for just a sec because I want to empty my inventory because let's take 378 to 380. I have a tendency to pick a lot of stuff up, so we'll be back when I'm done with that. Alright guys, we're back. I wanted to apologize first off if the audio from me speaking sounds a little funky. I don't have the best microphone, so it might record a little weird, but I wanted to give you a rundown of the kind of character that I tend to run, so I can apologize ahead of time if my walkthroughs take a really long time. But let's go look at my skills. I haven't leveled up in a while. I do have a few skills that I don't really use at a really high level, but got my max smithing. You'll see that in my gear here in a bit. And I'm mostly one-handed and bows, obviously. I tend to use light armor. My sneak is completely maxed, so it's impossible to detect me if I'm standing in a shadow pretty much. And I deal a lot of damage, and that's really the only thing I can think of. Is I'm just a really sneaky character with some extra things that I can do. I did see that I had some perks there to spend, but I'm kind of just using this first video as an intro to my character, and then we'll go ahead and get going. That way people understand what I'm running with and everything. Weapons. I tend to run with the Blade of Woe, because I have gloves that make me do insane amounts of backstab damage when I'm hidden. And I also have my Daedric bow that I smith. And I have so many different kinds of arrows. I don't like wasting them, so I tend to use iron arrows, but I really do need to wield something better. I mean, I've got 860 something ebony arrows. It's just ridiculous. I've got my ancient shrouded stuff that makes me move and double sneak attack damage, and then otherwise I've got dragon scale armor and shield. What's my necklace? Magicka regens 25% faster. That's not necessary, but it helps a lot. And then I have Volsung because I can be underwater, and oddly enough that helps a lot more than one would imagine. That's really the only important stuff about my character, because I tend to crouch the entire time so things don't see me, so I kind of just end up rushing through it all. So without further ado, let's get this underway. I don't know if it's going to be showing up actually in the video, but in the lower left you can see my frames per second. I actually run at about 60 with this graphic card, but Fraps does have a little bit of overhead, so I do have to take that in mind. So instead of recording at 60, I'm recording at 30. Hopefully this doesn't load too long. I don't want to make you guys wait. I probably should have cut this part out. I don't know. Rawr. Wants a hug. There we go. Where we're going. Now the question is, do I have to fast travel there, or can I? Windhelm. Yeah, I'm not walking there. Should have done that while I was in town, but, you know, not exactly on my game with this. If you stayed this long, then, you know, thanks. I appreciate you tuning in and everything. This is my first major walkthrough attempt that I can think of that I'm trying to do. I have a friend that recommended that I do Portal for her, but my attention span's not always the best, and I'm actually really awkward socially, so putting stuff like this up for me is kind of like, it's a little weird. But, you know, it's something I've wanted to do for quite some time, so it's no big deal in the end. See if I can give you guys something at least mildly interesting to look at and watch. Must be a fish room. Even though... can't look at that. He's a... well, yeah, you can see his tail. That's a Kaji. I always like the feline races for my first characters, so... I am actually playing this on PC. If you haven't noticed, that's why I'm recording it with Fraps. If I ever use a console command, it's not
Captain
me cheating, it's
Bjaaland
me
does the
trying to get
business
past
around here.
something.
I'm just a ship's mate.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore.
For the Dragonborn, you will?
It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim. Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there.
Persuade, intimidate, bribe. You know, you only because they tried to kill me. That kind of seems logical because, you know, they tried to kill me.
Alright, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do.
That's what I thought.
Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself.
No kidding. Considering it's like you got drugged, eh? I want to try to get at least a little bit into the actual storyline, quest line before I end this video, since it's my first one. Try to put a little bit more out there. This is gonna take forever to upload and everything, but you know, yeah, it's worth it. just realized I still had my TV on, like the sound on and everything. So that might be there in the background a little bit. I'm not gonna replay that just because there was some TV playing in the background. My apologies for that. I actually have keep taking the cover off my mouse. I actually have a setup where I can use my TV as another monitor, but I can't get Skyrim to go
Well,
full screen on it.
here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
Of course we can figure out what's going on around here. We're the main character. That was exciting.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions. You've picked one of the worst places in Morrowind to do that, but suit yourself.
I don't want to be
Just
causing no
remember,
trouble already.
Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions?
Not for you, bitch.
I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here. We've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down.
Morvain just sounds evil to me.
Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Raven Rock started out as an Imperial settlement. But the Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles. But when House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home.
Probably be asking who Mirak is.
I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. Remember,
well, that's about as much information as I'm going to get out of him. You can watch me all you want.
I was starting to wonder what happened.
It's drying out there.
We were delayed by bad weather.
Bird.
Before you even asked, yes, have the supplies you requested. But
Oh, I remember these guys. Marlin, pain in the ass, trying to sneak around and do anything. Try not to be the linear jump over the side of a boat to go walk to a place. You know what? I can walk there. No problem. Let's have some fun. Some space. Gotta have some fun with some space, man.
Space, best place. All the time. No dragons, just space.
Space. What's up, buddy?
Are we in space yet? What's the hold up? Gotta go to space. Gotta go to space!
But we're in Skyrim.
Going to space. Going there. Can't wait. Gotta go. Space. Going.
Oh, in Solstheim.
Space.
That's
Here in his shrine, that they have forgotten.
Like
Here do
working
we
out or something.
toil, that we might remember. By night we reclaim.
feels
What
like.
by day was stolen?
Far from ourselves.
Skies are like off my mind.
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here?
He grows ever near to us.
Mira.
Mirak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Mirak's been dead for thousands of years. I'm not sure. But it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there.
Now through them does he speak.
Yeah, let's get a little bit more information out of this guy and then we call it quits on this episode.
Building something, clearly. And yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish. Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out.
So it seems there's like he just wants to know what's going on.
The ignorant think it is only a place of ash and lava. It has rolling green plains and swamps and verdant hills too.
Well, that was.
That they have
That's
forgotten.
that then.
I'm gonna have to say that this looks
Here do we toil.
like this is my thought considering the giant stuff. Oh boy.
That
By
seems
night we
inadvisable.
recline.
Oh, fascinating. By touching the stone, you appear to have fallen under whatever influence is affecting the other. So you are able to resist the effect by exerting your will. Fascinating.
Our
I would not advise touching the stone again. The effects of repeated contact could be... Unless, of course, you'd like to contribute to my investigation. It could be very enlightening to observe you.
now through him do we see.
That seems inadvisable.
Both were idle.
Different.
I wonder how long this effect will last. Perhaps it is permanent, as with the others.
That world will cease
That
to
would be a
be.
shame.
Yeah,
What
this
an
is
interesting
kind of a
exception to the otherwise universal phenomenon.
Here do you toil.
So this is what they're all repeating.
Can you hear me? Do you have any free will left?
Here
Or are you
you
completely under
Yeah,
this
he was
outside influence
stolen.
like the other?
Shut up, dude.
Our eyes once were blinded.
It appears that you were not as unusual after all.
Yep.
Our hands once were idle. Now through them does he speak.
He doesn't have anything interesting to say anymore. Well, I think that's a good place to call it quits for
And
this
when the
episode.
world shall
If you
listen.
tuned in, thanks for sticking around and try to get some more up in the meantime. Take it easy.